So we are Brent and Leslie Hadley. We live in West Haven, Utah, and we met Terry. Let's see.
So LinkedIn.
Yeah, it was through LinkedIn. Somebody reached out to us about interest in starting our own business, and we responded to that. And that gal introduced us to Terry. We just returned from 2 years of missionary service as volunteers for our church. And we're not quite a retirement age. So we were looking to just get back into the corporate world again. And we had been looking for jobs and putting out a lot of applications. And that's why we were heavily involved with LinkedIn. And when that offer to look at starting our own business came up, it's something that's been in the back of my mind. I've done entrepreneurial things throughout my career. So we started looking at that as an option. And the more we progressed down the path towards jobs, the more opportunities there dried up. And we were kind of led in this direction.
We wanted something that we could do together since we just spent the whole 2 years together. And we were really kind of lamenting that we have to go back to do two separate jobs. And this gives us an option to do something together. We picked a franchise that matches our values and our vision of what we'd like to do, help our community, bless other people's lives, and make a difference in their lives together. And so we picked Surv.com. WeServe.com,
WeServe.com, yeah.
but it's Surv franchise, and we're very excited to be new owners with them.
They are partnered with organizations that support senior care in home. Their tagline is that they're their to-do list partner. So they help homeowners with
Anything.
really, yeah, all the stuff that they need to maintain and enhance and live in a home over the years. And I loved that Terry's process was very methodical. It's very well thought out. There were things that I hadn't considered that were, we were guided towards and helped through that helped us to do, as you called out, the due diligence process. That gave me a lot of peace of mind because there weren't a lot of open questions and unanswered questions and concerns floating about. It was just step by step following the course that he gave us. And we had to put in the work and do the research and whatnot, but it all produced a result and a path that was very comfortable. And we feel very happy with the outcome.
And for me, I was really nervous with it being something we've never done before. And I'm like, how do you know? How can we trust what we're doing is, we're not taking as a scam or it's going to work out for us. And Terry just was so good at coaching and giving us things to help us do our due diligence and really research that by the time we were done, I felt it gave us a sense of security that we did our part to pick something that was best for us, and that would meet our needs. It was very personal to me that he took the time to go through all our affairs, to use the tools he uses to help validate and answer questions and clarify questions along the way that guided us to a very, yeah, this is what we want to do. And it wasn't our first choice. It was our third choice or fourth choice because we had other choices we were looking at, but it ended up being the right one for us.
And Terry really, he guided us through the process without leading us through the process, if that makes sense. He didn't tell us what to do. He gave us the information and gave us best practice and then allowed us. The analogy that he used, which I love, is a golf caddy. we had to make the shots. We had to do the work, but he was there to guide and to coach and to just assist. So he really guided us through the process, not telling us what to do, but showing us the options and how, and allowed us to do the work ourselves. So that was great. As I mentioned, I've done entrepreneurial things throughout my career, but there was always a capital issue. Really, investing in a business opportunity and really making something big that would work to support us. And that was one of my biggest concerns coming into this is, it had been every other time I'd looked at franchises before is just the capital. How am I going to capitalize this? And he introduced us to options that I did not know existed, that just opened up doors for us, that made it possible. It made it feasible. It made it comfortable.
Yeah, it did.
And you know, we've had those concerns all along about being in business for ourselves. There's taking that leap from the comfort of a solid paycheck to um, being responsible for your income completely. And so there's a risk reward, to that. Um, Obviously, the upside, if you've chosen well and you've done your due diligence, can be much higher than taking that solid paycheck.
And Terry did a really good job at coaching and mentoring us to enable us to choose well,
Yeah.
to be successful in what we want to accomplish.
Yeah. And he used various tools to help us better even understand ourselves. And he used that as part of the matching process when he brought opportunities to us to start looking at. He really did a good job of matching. First of all, he did a good job of listening and documenting our needs, our wants, desires, our personalities, our strengths, our skills, and then presenting to us things that matched up well. Mm-hmm. And like we said, in the first set of 10 franchises he gave us, we found our go-to, and it wasn't our first choice either. But through the process of our due diligence, it bubbled up to the top and became the one that we're now pursuing. So, but yeah, I mean, we went through all of those fears and concerns. Absolutely, I understand. At least from our perspective, there's a lot that keep people from taking the step. I can speak a little bit differently than my wife. She has been fairly solid in her career throughout the years. She's in healthcare, but I'm in IT, and I've been through several corporate layoffs, and I had to look in the mirror one day and just say, as secure as that paycheck is, it isn't that secure. I'm at the mercy of any company or any boss or any manager deciding that I could or could not continue to work with that company at any given point in time. And I've been through that several times where, because of rifts and downturns and whatnot, I found myself on the outside looking. And so I thought I would much rather have the power in my hands to make those decisions for myself. And will it mean a lot more work and probably a lot harder work than working for somebody else? Absolutely. I expect it to be that. But I also expect the upside to be much better. I'm in control of my schedule. I'm in control of my future. And because of the franchise we've chosen, we will also be in charge of all of our employees' future. And that's another one of those difficult things to look at. And wow, people are going to look to us as an employer. But I look at my experience as a manager and managing people, and I know the kind of company I want to run. And if I were to design a company I would want to work for, well, guess what? I get to do that now. I get to build that company and I get to provide the type of an atmosphere I would want to work in and work for. And so all of those things were very appealing to us and made the difference in us being here versus being back in the corporate world. First thing I did was look at Hire Your Best Boss. And I watched some of their videos and kind of looked at, hey, are these guys legit? I mean, we live in a very precarious world. So you have to do your due diligence to verify. And I felt very comfortable with what I saw. I thought that the things that they discussed and the way they went about it was very genuine. And that was one of the things that appealed to me. It didn't feel canned. It didn't feel made up. Terry just felt genuine. From there, yes, I went to several other franchise companies or for franchise coaching or whatever companies, and I looked at several others. I would say probably three different ones, and I couldn't at this point tell you what they were off the top of my head. But in that comparison, what I was looking for is anything to say, was this Hire Your Best Boss? Is there something that casts a negative light on it or makes it look questionable? Is there something that looks better? And nothing else I looked at turned me away. So yes, I did some due diligence before I even went with them.
And personally, I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, there's been some convincing going on both sides over
With
the months,
Terry,
but
once I sat down with Terry, it just took a couple of times sitting down with Terry, and he just calmed down my fears, answered all my questions. And it was like, okay, I think we could do this.
yeah.
And what I loved, it wasn't a hard, no selling, no whatsoever. It was just, here, let me mentor you. These are things you need to do. These are things you need to go. If it works, great. If not, great. We'll start again. And it was just wonderful.
And from the
There was no
beginning,
pressure. There was no
yeah,
stress or pressure that, oh my gosh, you have to do this and this and this.
from the beginning, he said, and if we don't find something that works, we'll part ways as friends. And so, yeah, the fact that there never was pressure, it was always in that coaching, mentoring type of an atmosphere. Hey, I'm here to help you. If that's truly a desire of yours, I'm here to help make it happen. And he has. We're franchise owners, so we owe him a lot.